I totally agree with the views of my honorable friend Nazwali, who says that the civil code already provides for the recognition of a religious marriage. It's always there. And the reason it was there, ever back since 1982, since 1982, because this is when it was brought in, 1981, I apologize, 1981. It was when Sir Sagar Ramgulam brought it into the civil code following a promise that he had made to late Sir Abdul Razak Mohammed at the time of elections for independence. It took the time that it took, but the promise was kept by Sir Sagar Ramgulam in 1981. It was blown away in 1987 by Sir Anirudh Jagnat. It was blown to smithereens in 1987. I remember Honorable Ganu making speeches, and he himself was on the right side of the house when he criticized the wrong move of 1987. But then, in 1991, the MMM was in government, if memory serves me correctly, and things were brought right. The MMM could make the MSM see straight. Then, now we come up with myself, Honorable Mohammed, Osman Mohammed, myself and other members, many times who put questions. In 2014, the law was amended to allow those who were late to register and to benefit from the mistake and blunder of Sir Anirudh Jagnat MSM government in 1987. The law was amended by way of regulations. And then we come to today. But before we come to today, many times we put questions. When we put questions, the only one who was sympathetic to it was from the question of Honorable Osman Mohammed, was the Honorable Minister of Finance presently. But Honorable Gayan, Honorable Sina Tambou, ministers of the previous MSM government until 2019, were totally réfractaires and said, no way. We will refuse to correct the mistake committed in 1987. And those on the other side, some of them know what I'm talking about. But now, when you look at what Honorable Kunju Shah has said, because before we get there, maybe a minister of the Republic who is not even aware what the law says today is dangerous, in fact. So that is why I am quite confused. No, sorry, I do apologize. The government is confused. Because the position that is adopted by Honorable Kunju Shah is as follows. I read what is reported and what she said. Lorsqu'un homme marié, I quote, peu importe de quelle communauté, décède, son épouse percevra une pension de 9 000 roupies. Now, she doesn't deserve a medal there because that's the law. She's not nothing new. But she goes on to say, s'il y en a des madames, pas des madames qui pour gagner 9 000 saken. Cette somme sera ensuite divisée entre les deux veuves. Garde ça bien en tête qui a dit, grâce à ça, là, nous, in alcorise et l'injustice incroyable contre sa bonne madame là. But what she fails to understand is l'injustice that she makes reference to was en 1987, par Sir Anirudh Jagnat, Prime Minister. What she fails to do, you see, maybe she's given a speech to read and she doesn't even know the facts and the intricacies of it, les tenants et les aboutissants, so she doesn't know history. The reason why the Muslim Family Council came into being and it was corrected in 1991, MMM was in power. That is the reason. I always have to say that is the truth. So, when she says now that une pension de 9 000 roupies, s'il y a 3 femmes qui sont mariées religieusement à un homme, va être divisée en 3, but she doesn't know what the law says. The law says that in the Civil Code, in the Civil Status Act, which is law today, all women married religiously or civilly are considered to be married. As long as for the religious one, it is registered at the Muslim Family Council. Simple. So every single person in Mauritius who have a simple notion of what reading the law is about knows what the law is. There is no issue there. So what the Honorable Minister Kunju Shah has done is take the situation of the law today, which entitles every single woman who is married religiously. If a man is married to 4, he has 4 religious wives. They are all 4 entitled to pension of 9,000 rupees each. That is the law today. And this is not, she seems not even to be aware of. And that is why I am saying that there seems to be a total mess in the government, because Honorable Nazir Ali is totally right when it comes to his interpretation of things. He's a lawyer, he knows. But the Honorable Minister Kunjusha, being a minister, I presume, should have advisors. I take it that she is not the minister responsible for the issue. But if what she is saying becomes truth, then there is nothing that is being corrected. In fact, it is being made worse. So I think that, as the English language says, they should stop getting their knickers in a twist and try to come up with a bloody solution when it comes to what the reality of the law is today, and not basically say anything that comes from the top of their head simply to cow and bow to extremist right movement that have a problem with equality of the law. The difference between Sir Siusagar Ramgoolam, who in 1981 understood and implemented, as opposed to what the mess and the confusion in government today, is stark. C'est ça la différence entre le Parti travailliste et le MSM. Le Parti travailliste avait promis la communauté musulmane, loin à l'époque des discussions de l'indépendance, entre Sir Siusagar Ramgoolam et Sir Abdul Razak Mohammed, que this would be fact in our civil law. It was brought in our civil law in 1981 after the death of Sir Abdul Razak Mohammed. But today, Honorable Kunjusha wants to take us back before the time of colonial days. This would not be correcting wrong. It would be bringing us to another epoch. So I am convinced, therefore, Mr. Speaker, sir, when I listen to Honorable Minister Kunjusha, that her words are dangerous. Her words are devoid of any logic. And for a minister of the Republic to have said what she has said, it was an insult to our law as it stands today. And that is the danger. And I am of the humble view that the Prime Minister should call her to order. It is not a question about going to make certain extreme right movement happy, and then she's going to just try to hatch something that comes out. And I don't mean egg and omelette here, I just mean she hatched an idea. It's not the point. On ne peut pas perpétuellement être sur une boîte de savon. One has to know when one is going to open one's mouth what the law is and not speak nonsense. That is what the responsibility of a minister is. And the responsibility of a prime minister is very simple: to ensure that the continuity of the law. The law is that religious marriages are recognized, full stop. And all those widows, they have been disappearing, but you do know how many of them have not been paid les arriérages de pension? And you are saying as a government that you're going to come and correct a wrong committed by the MSM itself, but this government today has a minister that wants to take us to the time pre-independence. Courage aux backbenchers qui ont eu le toupet au moins et l'intelligence de se prononcer contre ce qu'elle a dit. Mais ce qui est grave, c'est que this government refuses to recognize that all those widows and their children that have grown up without being paid this due, their due, there's arriérage that is due to them. If I am to listen to the Honorable Minister Kunjusha, those women are not equal, don't have equal rights. Those women are not to be recognized. And let me finish on the speech that was given in South Africa by Mahatma Gandhi when he was a young lawyer fighting against British colonialism. At a time when the British colonialists refused to recognize Hindu religious marriages, Muslim religious marriages, he stood up in a gathering and said, our women and our sisters cannot be considered as concubines. We married them religiously, and they are to be recognized as our wives. More respect is due to our mothers and our sisters. And what the Honorable Minister Kunjusha has done, I hope she's brought to order, and it is nothing else and nothing less than her resignation that will be something that has been offered, and she has to leave as minister. Thank you.